Hello and welcome back to another Walking Dead Daryl Dixon video, and today I'll be talking about why I believe The Walking Dead Daryl Dixon Season 3 needs to adapt The Walking Dead alien in some sort of way and introduce Rick Grimes' brother, Jeffery Grimes. And I do believe this is the ideal time for this story. Our characters are in Spain now. The Walking Dead alien takes place in Barcelona, Spain. That is where they are filming a lot of the time, or around that area. So it makes a lot of sense to adapt aspects of the storyline, or at least just throw the characters from the storyline into this show. And I believe that it would be great. The whole story of Daryl Dixon, until the showrunners decided, nah, it's no longer about gonna go find Rick, is that Daryl got lost on his way to find Rick. So imagine Season 3 when he hears of a story of this man called Grimes, and he might be like, oh wait, Rick's somehow in Spain, and that could be a couple or an episode of Daryl getting all this hope about he's about to reunite with Rick, and it is Rick's brother. And I just feel like this will add so much more to the story and make it a much more interesting season. And this is probably the only time we would get anything with The Walking Dead alien. I don't see AMC doing a Tales or something like Tales and telling the story of Alien, or even giving us a spin-off. AMC really doesn't like doing anything with the origins of the apocalypse. They like to take place with, I think, a decade plus in. This is the closest we've ever gonna be and ever have been to a possibility of the Walking Dead alien adaptation. It will be a very loose adaptation, I do have to say, but we have been this close. AMC are never going to give Alien its own story or give its own show. Why not put this and change it very heavily and put it into Daryl Dixon Season 3? And by heavily, I mean that a lot of the events of The Walking Dead alien just cannot happen in Season 3, because The Walking Dead alien takes place at the start of the apocalypse, and also Jeffery Grimes dies at the end of The Walking Dead alien trying to get back to America. You could just bring the characters from Alien and put it into Season 3, and the story very loosely is about Jeffery Grimes trying to get out of Barcelona and get back to America, so you could very, very loosely place that on Daryl and have Jeffery Grimes play a different role in the story and not be the character trying to get home. And it'd be just really cool. Just give us the Walking Dead alien characters, and you could even give us flashbacks to the events of the Walking Dead alien, just skipping out a bit where Jeffery Grimes dies. That's what I think could really happen. Or even if they are going to tell the story of the Walking Dead alien, maybe don't take it place right at the start of the apocalypse, and maybe meet one of the other characters that from the Walking Dead alien. Daryl meets them, and you could do flashbacks, but I feel like you only have 6 episodes, so you can't really dedicate so much of the Season 2 flashbacks to Jeffery Grimes and adapt in The Walking Dead alien. That's why I said bring the characters into Daryl Dixon and don't really tell the story. And even though it is barely an adaptation, it would be great to have something with the comics again, because the Walking Dead universe seems to have only really adapted the mainline comics and has done none of the games, none of the additional novels, none of the spin-off comics. They really have just gone, okay, we've adapted the Walking Dead, we're doing our own things, even though there's so much more source material. So I'd really, really like and really hope and really want them to look back at the source material again and try and take aspects from the stories. This is why I really want a Clementine TV show. We have 4 games and a book about her now, or comics, I think, more not a book, and they could have just adapted or told the story of Clementine and Lee. That would have been phenomenal TV. Or give us the Rise of the Governor books and just adapt them into a show. Or even give us the Here's Negan or comic book series that has about Negan. They kind of slightly adapted. They didn't adapt the Rise of the Saviors like they did in the Here's Negan story. So there's a lot that the Walking Dead universe is missing. I think this is the perfect time to start adapting the Walking Dead source material again and do it very loosely with the Walking Dead alien. Give us Jeffery Grimes, and also you could just even adapt his death. Make it so he dies at the end of the season. Don't bring him to season 4. Have Jeffrey Grimes be a big part of season 3. He makes sure Daryl and Carol gets out of Spain, but gets bit in the process. So you could still adapt aspects of the story, but it just takes place way later on in the timeline. Instead of taking place in year 1, it takes place in year 14, 13 or 12, or whenever they decide this takes place in the timeline. I just really hope we do get something with the Walking Dead alien, or at least some references to, at the very minimum, to this story in The Walking Dead Daryl Dixon Season 3. Daryl is in Spain now. Just give us a Jeffrey Grimes and Alien adaptation. A lot of fans really want to see Jeffrey Grimes, even though we've had no mention of him in the Walking Dead franchise so far. In the comics, it was the same thing. Rick never mentioned him. We got one mention from Laurie right at the start of the comics where she mentioned Rick has a brother. That's it. So we're basically in the same place. There has been no mention of Jeffrey Grimes. Just introduce him. He's from the comics, and I think fans would absolutely love to see another Grimes, and love to see this very beloved comic very loosely, very loosely. It might annoy some people actually, but a lot of fans would still love to see the Walking Dead alien at least attempted to be adapted into Daryl Dixon's Season 3, or that's just my opinion. So please tell me down below, what do you think about the Walking Dead alien Jeffrey Grimes? Do you think they need to or should adapt it for Daryl Dixon Season 3 and potentially Season 4? Or do you think they should just ignore it and Jeffrey Grimes should not exist in the Walking Dead TV universe? I just know all your thoughts down in the comments. But this is it for me today, so thank you for watching, and I will talk to you later.